Shall we begin?
Yeah.
I'm going to sneeze. I'll have to edit that out. Sorry. Mind you. Yep. All right. Shall we begin?
Yeah.
Hello, listeners. How are you? It's been a long time. I sheepishly approach the podcast booth as I look at you and beg for your forgiveness. But we've had things on.
Yes, we've been busy. I've definitely been busy. You've been busy. The kids have been busy. We're in a special location for this podcast today.
We are. We're at the country cottage estate of the Wolfe family.
We are, and you'll hear kids in the background because they are here awake. We were hoping nap time would be longer, but it didn't happen.
But so far so good.
And so far so good. My George is looking very excited.
That's George you can hear in the background there, folks.
That's George, not my dad. And Lena will no doubt probably give some applause later on. And
right,
you know, you are going to be on a journey with us today with this podcast, listeners. So.
Now, our last episode, it was a rehearsal.
Yes, it
because
was.
we had a gig.
Yes, and George was there too.
George was at that rehearsal giving key critique.
He was.
But what was that gig in Adolf?
What was
Do you remember?
Yes, it was our Festival of Voices gig.
Right, yeah.
Yes.
And then we were going to we went to Queenstown for the Unconformity Festival.
We did. That was a mission. We did big mission, long drive, bendy roads, and it was weirdly warm.
Yeah, it was really tropical.
And it was really bizarre because I'm talking to my husband back home and he goes, yeah, it's cold and rainy. And I'm like, it's literally hot. I'm sweating in Queenstown. Yeah. And it got really windy. So unfortunately, we didn't play for as long as what we were hoping for. But, you know, good trip away. I had a night away from the kids.
Who was the lady that organised it? Lauren?
Lauren. Yeah. No, Laura.
Laura. Yeah. Sorry, Laura.
Listen to us, Lauren.
She was jolly good. She was
Laura,
very
she
welcoming.
was lovely.
Very professional.
She was very good. Yeah.
Excellent,
she loved it.
yeah.
That was really good.
And what was I going to say about Queenstown? Yeah. So we played a few of those gigs, but now the next gig we have.
Yes, we're playing at the Mayfield.
Which is a Tuesday night.
It is.
Which will be a very civilised dinner and show sort of thing.
Yep.
I think I'll run at 7:30 till 9 or something like that.
7:30 to 9:30. You told me. No. You're right. Actually, no. That's one of the rare times you're actually correct. It's 7:30 to 9.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's rare. That's how I forget things.
Yeah. So we haven't really... I mean, we've got quite a bit... but what we thought we'd play today is just kick back on some old favourites.
Yep.
And maybe some ones... And I've been doing actually a bit of investigating on some of these Laing tunes.
Yeah, you've been doing your homework and learning stuff. Because we do actually have an upcoming gig. I don't know if we can mention it.
Oh, in February?
Yes.
Yeah, that's a fair way away. But look, you'll have to book now. Because
I'm giving you plenty of notice. But
there's only 3 seats available for the whole festival.
Anyway, but there's some things coming up which we'll mention later on.
Yeah, but we'll be doing Laing shows forever.
Yeah, we will. We're not going to get away from that. Anyway, yes, you've been doing some Laing stuff.
Yeah, just because I've been looking over the dots of these traditional tunes, and quite often with you're playing the melody quite a bit. And so I end up playing a lot of comping and that sort of stuff. So I'm, for my usual approach to the Laing tune, Richmond Lasses would just be to gallop at the chords, like, and just keep that like duck, duck, duck. And what I'm playing there is 5 1 3, 5 1 3 5 1 3 5 1 of the chord, like fifth note, third, and fifth note, first and third in that diagonal shape. Right?
Did you get that? Yes, I got that.
You got that, folks? That'll be on the exam. But looking at the notes, and then the issue I have with a lot of these tunes is they're spread over the octaves that we don't cover on the banjo.
No.
So I've got to reposition a few things. So we've got this I figured this tune, this Richmond Lasses tune.
Should we just do that tune first and talk about it?
Well, I was just going to get everyone to see how impressive it was that I start up. I use the whole length.
You do. It's all very fancy.
All the real estate.
All the real estate. Yeah. Maybe we should start off with that tune then. Then you can show off your chops, what you've been...
I'll stuff it up hardcore because I'm very rusty today for some reason. But
it's all right.
Yeah, we'll see how we go.
All right.
One. Yes. Sorry.
1, 2, 3, and...
so I made a train wreck of that. A train wreck.
George loved it. He's shaking. You can't see him, but he's shaking a little phone that has a little... It's like a little shaker phone. I'm starting the kids off young with their...
With phones?
No. With yeah, sorry. I realised that came across... No, with the shaker. Disregard that the fact it's the shape of a phone. I'm referring to that it makes a musical, sound. Anyway.
Well, that was a bit of an abortion.
It was fine. But going from what you were saying, it's, of course, for any of our listeners who play a lot of folk music or listen to a lot, it's not always often banjo takes the lead because it's more ends up being comping.
Yeah.
And violin just defaults always to melody.
Yeah.
Because it is a
melodic instrument.
It is a melody instrument.
We've had a drama in the creche.
But it's actually really, I always really like it when you get, normally a comping instrument playing the melody. It's the same like for mandolin, although mandolin is probably, you would argue to say it's probably more melody than comping.
Well, I don't know. I think you'd be in the same boat as...
But you can do both.
Yeah, because equal. Because, I mean, you've got the... All violinists can play a melody on it because you've got the tuning.
But it doesn't always work when violins can do comping, like chords, but as what, you and I often do. But then it's kind of... It loses its... You always have to arrange it if you're gonna... If the fiddle was going to comp, you just have to take in turns. But I always really like it. I like it when we play stuff in unison. It's nice.
Yeah.
Do more of it, please.
All right, I'll try and do more. I've got a few more. There's another one I looked at, which was I'm going to make an abortion of again, which was Dr. Moore on Parade, or as we affectionately call it, Dr. Moron's Parade. Yeah. Which I think I prefer that name. Dr. Moron's. Yeah.
It's called Dr. Moron Parade with the Derwent Rifles.
Oh, Dr. Moron's Parade with the Derwent Rifles.
Another Laing tune.
You point this and where it hurts, and you pull the trigger and it kills the ills. I'm Dr. Moron.
You can tell we're a bit out of practice from this podcast.
All right, so with that one too, I had the same issue when I was investigating this because it does step out of the range depending on where you start it. But basically, it's just that. And the other thing I found because I'd had the comping pattern so long, I was playing this a bit by myself. When I try to get it up and roll and jam, I end up falling back on the comping pattern. Yep. But the comping pattern I'm using isn't the melody.
No. Right. Okay. All right.
Yeah, because the melody is. Whereas if I'd comp it, it'd be like.
Yeah, you're more rolling.
Yeah.
Rather than the.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Well, shall we give it a go and see what happens?
Yeah, so this other Laing tune, I think it's a good Laing tune. It's a rollicking, one of those rollicking E minor ones.
I do like this one. Because Laing, there's only about a handful of the jiggy types that I like of Laing's, but even so, how this is written, it's not your standard, I find it's not the standard jig format if you were to play an Irish or... No, it's just because he's got more choppy da-da-da-da-da. It's definitely more... Well, maybe that's that Scottish influence. It's more of
and that's another thing too. I avoided those dotted notes and that.
I can hear it too.
Place straight. Yeah, I'm very sorry. Because as you know, I like to chew on things thoroughly and totally recombobulate them.
You can't see it, but there is a big bird of prey out the window. There's a really big wedgie, I think.
BANJO.
And the birds,
here he comes.
The birds are going a bit haywire.
I don't think it's a wedgie. But anyway, that's country living, folks. Country. See all this? Country living.
Country living.
So you can see now because we'll have video, but if the video messes up, I'll have to explain it to you.
Yeah, that's okay. I'm sure you'll give a really accurate description.
There was bird in the sky.
There was a free bird.
It wasn't quite round. It was long, but also short.
It had some funny things on its arm wings.
Feathers.
Yep.
Anyway,
let's play Dr. Moore.
Idiot. Dr. Moron's Parade with the Derwent Rifles. Who's starting this?
What? Together?
Okay. I'll just comp you for a while.
A 1 and 2 and...
Rename this podcast to CC Thornley proves himself as the most hopeless banjo player in the world live. Irrefutable video proof.
No, that was good.
Because I'm not used to it, so...
Well, that's not exactly the point of us talking about it, like, because we say it's not often. You're pushing against what, it's good.
There it is. Why couldn't I remember that? It's so easy. Why couldn't I remember that?
The music's right there too.
The music's right in front of me, next to the camera, and I...
See? It's fine. It's fine. Don't stress. Don't stress. We've got it under control.
All right. Sure. Well, there's a couple of Laing tunes. That's what I've been up to whilst in the breaks, just trying to figure out fingering to that and a few others, and the Paddy Riley tune, Gumnut Shotty.
You're doing better than me. I haven't really picked up the violin much.
Really?
It's a bit tricky with two kids.
And a violin.
But thankfully my children quite enjoy music, so I think...
He's over there. Georgie's enjoying it right now. He doesn't enjoy me very much. We used to be mates.
I think it's because it's the beard and the hat.
I rock in, I'm like, Georgie! And he's like... Oh!
Yeah, I think it's because Dad...
Dad yells a lot.
Dad doesn't.
So
no,
me being the other yelling male figure.
Just meaning because my husband doesn't have a long beard and doesn't wear a hat, so I think he gets a bit. He's just like he does that with other people. So don't.
Mum, what kind of dog is that?
What kind of dog is that? It's all right. I think after a few minutes he realizes that you're okay. Cause you get the banjo out, and then he's like, that's right.
Happens. When the banjo comes out, he goes,
that's right. That's what he does. Anyway.
Humans. Incredible.
He's all right. He's pretty happy over there. Not bothered at all.
So if we play Gumnut Shotty, should I throw in that fingering? Can we play a couple that I know after this? Because I've got to redeem myself. This is very fresh territory for me, right?
Well, do you want to do... we were going to do the other Laing tune.
Yeah, which I haven't looked at for years.
Yeah. So you don't want to do that one?
Well, we could do more. Why don't we give the people more? We guarantee you a minimum of 5.
Yeah.
We don't guarantee you a maximum.
That's true.
We don't cap it.
Okay, well, we can do... Well, do you want to play this one? And then we can...
Yes.
All right, good.
How's it go again? It goes... So I was trying to concentrate, but you know that hawk you mentioned before?
Yes.
He's over there in the yard having a fight with 2 crows over a dead rabbit. They're full on going for it.
Oh, I wish I could see that.
It's quite remarkable. The crows are like, nah, mate, nah, we found that thing.
We found it. Marfree
And the
rabbit.
hawk's all like, don't you know who you think I am?
That is hilarious. I can't see from here.
Yeah.
I won't get up because probably knock over a camera or a microphone.
Stay right. Well, I'm not too afraid to move. But anyway, there you go. So I'm very sorry about that. Oh, ruined by nature.
No, that was good. But you noticed a little harmony there as well.
Was it? Yeah, oh, that was a mistake.
No, I did the harmony with you.
Oh, did you? Then it wasn't a mistake.
Can we just try the A section? And I'm going to try harmony the whole way through.
2.
I...
1, 2, 3. Was that thirds? Or?
I was doing thirds.
Yeah.
I was trying to think it on the cusp. That's all right.
Nice. Yeah.
Yes.
What did you think of that, Miss Patty Riley? Write to please send a self-addressed stamped envelope to Wolfberry Incorporated.
Yeah. I always like doing... See, that's the thing. If you learn the harmonies more, then I can actually...
If I learn the harmonies more?
If you learn the melodies, if we unison,
okay.
then we can actually harmonise with each other.
Actually maybe have a good act.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Actually be able to get a few more gigs.
Maybe. Get a couple of bucks out of it. What do you reckon, folks?
Who knows? This might make it to a TV show.
So these 3 songs, speaking of TV shows, I actually did a little video of them if you're interested on YouTube. And you'll see the fretboard.
Yes, you have on your YouTube channel. I have watched it, so you know.
Yeah. I've got a couple of channels. A couple of playlists. And one of them is called Hokey Dokey. And Hokey Dokey is where I put up all the just me playing banjo. Here's a tune from 1872.
Yep.
At the time, the governor took a poo. Georgie like that.
Look... He is very excited, but I'm not sure if it's about that. There's too many exciting toys over there that he's getting very into. All right, well, we're going to play a Steve Gadd tune.
Yes.
Yes?
Sure, why not?
You don't sound too enthused.
There was something else very important I had to say.
Oh.
Because the whole point of the season 3 was the fact that we're supposed to be recording an album.
Yes.
So instead of putting all your resources into recording, she went and had babies.
Well, that's a funny way of, you know.
Hey, I just say how it is. I just say what everyone's thinking.
I think it's just you thinking that.
Really? But in the meantime, I actually put out a whole solo album.
You did.
What do you think of it?
You know.
It was crap. She hated it. See how she paused? Not the right response.
What would you want me to... I liked it.
Yeah?
I liked it. I liked your videos with it too. I liked the horse one.
Yeah, so I did it. The point of that was I had a video for every clip, and you can see that.
Yes.
The name of the album is Canute, C-N-U-T.
Yeah, Canute, yeah.
Which is the... did you get that, folks? It's named after the Viking King of England, King Canute, who tried to turn back the tide and couldn't. But it's spelt C-N-U-T, which is how you spell it. Just for effect. But it's a
pretty effective,
nice
title for an album. So.
Yeah. So what, have we finished? Is that it? Do we fail and we've recorded another album and somebody else recorded, or?
I don't know. No, we haven't failed. Who said anything about failing?
We're at episode 8.
Yeah.
And we haven't made any more progress further since episode 2.
I think we've made progress. Your beard's gotten longer.
That's... I don't know. So what I'm getting at is, are we going to need a season 4?
Well, we'll have to wait and see. I think we'll just have to have a little...
In the meantime, I have a solo album.
Yep, you do.
So if this ends up being season 13 and I've got 24 solo albums and we haven't got another Wolf and Thorn album...
Look, we'll get around to it. There's stuff going on.
Yeah, indeed. Will there even be recorded music in 2024?
We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. Or hear. Now, that's all I had to say. That was the important thing.
That was the important thing. Cool. Glad you got that off your chest.
But we haven't recorded an album, but I have.
Yeah, that's all right.
And you've started a band.
I have.
Yeah.
That's all right. Things are happening, moving.
Just not the things that we said we'd do. Just not the things we'd planned.
Look, I think, maybe don't get so, tied down. We're here now playing some music.
All right, so this
we'll work
next song,
it out.
this next song we're going to do, Berserker for a Lost Ship.
Yes, by Steve Gadd.
Yeah.
And
the sequel tune, Where Did You See It Last? Berserker for Where Did You See It Last?
Berserker for where you... Yeah, I don't know. That's the question.
If I knew that, it wouldn't be lost.
Yeah, exactly.
I would just go to that place, I
Yeah.
would see the boat,
I would
the song
find
wouldn't
it.
exist.
That's right.
Why do you always say that when I say I've lost my ship? Where was the last place I put it? The bottom of the ocean.
Yeah,
Yeah, anyway, sorry.
just like the Titanic.
Yeah, that's one of them.
That's one of them.
Yeah, could
but,
be.
but we know,
We know where that is. We
Yes,
found that. We
it
found
is.
that. Yeah.
No, but actually, I had a friend got their dinghy stolen, so that's
There
a
you
lost.
go.
That's a lost ship boat.
Really? Where were they? Where was that?
Cornelia Bay, and they actually visually saw them going off with their dinghy.
Hey,
Um,
you kids.
and unfortunately,
dinghy?
I don't think that it has been anything resolved on it.
Really?
Which
Maybe
is
they
a bit
died. They went out and...
No, they drove it off in a car. It was like a ute.
Oh,
Yeah.
I thought they literally got in
No,
it.
they literally drove off with it with a car, on a trailer. I don't know. Great lengths.
Wow.
Yes. So that's not really ideal.
The news here
Okay.
at Wolf and Thorn. Boat missing.
Boat missing.
Ship lost.
Here we go.
More at 7. Thank you for watching.
Here we go.
The thing that's interesting about this song, wait, just before you go on,
you're right.
is the first chord. It has a sus4 chord in it.
Yes.
And I think that sus4 chord could also be expressed as an 11th. And I think that certain of the harmonic or the harmony intervals you could use would be around 4s. Because it seems to me that that's what he's pulling on when you play it. Here's the sound of the sus4 chord. Ooh. Here, actually, that's not a sus chord. That's a sus with the added dominant 7th. So you've got E and A and E working against B. Well, it should just be. Or it could even be. But it's actually that. So I can play that a number of ways. But
It's all moody. I like it.
that was a.
Makes it sound like it's a...
So please mean pinball. Sorry, that was that song. Sorry, no, sus fours, right? Interesting. Yeah. All right. So let's see how it goes. There's another sus4 in there too, which is a B minor sus4. So listen out for those funky chords, folks, in this tune.
Tell us which bar it was in so we can...
It's a Steve Gadd tune, so it's a 20th century tune.
Oh, I like it. Kind of jumpy
bit of
like
spice
that.
in there.
Bit of
Of
spice.
pepper, yeah.
The
So we're
kids
mucking
seem
around.
to
Sorry,
like that.
Steve, if you are listening, we enjoyed that. tune,
Hope you enjoyed that.
We just thought we've been bouncing that one off the walls a little bit, because I think that's the way I like to learn the tunes and then play them 6 or 7 different genres, forms, styles, tempos.
Yeah.
Really locks it in there.
Yeah. It's fun. You can find different emphasis on the melody when I muck around, when you know, playing around like that.
Yeah.
It's fun. I'm just thinking, like, perhaps, I don't know, like with our album, we should just do a... Well, I know we talked about it before, but just to sit around, just record it, and it is what it is.
Well, that was what we wanted to avoid.
Oh, okay.
But it seems like now that's the only plan we've got. Because that's kind of what I did with my solo album.
Yeah.
And now I think, well, how many do we have in the can from the original plan? We've got 4, haven't we?
Yeah, maybe
got
5
Paddy.
now, because we've got Gumnut Shortish.
Oh, when did we get that down?
I mean, like, as in, like, once they, you know, you've been practicing the melody.
No, I mean actual recorded that we have.
Oh, hang on. No, we haven't recorded
That we went to the studio and recorded. We've got
I
4.
think the only ones we did 1... Yeah, 4.
Yeah. So we
4.
probably need another 6 or 8.
4. Yeah, well, you know, that's a little... Yeah. We've started it. But yeah. To come back to it.
Yes, we do have to come back to it.
Yeah,
Right.
it's all right. Chill,
One
bro.
day. Come on, man. I need my album.
I think, you know, it's all right.
So this next song we're going to play, this is another oldie.
It's another oldie. It's another oldie, not from the archive. Excuse me.
So this is a Laing tune.
Playing a few Laing today.
We have played a few Laing today.
And this is called Sorrel Windmill. And it's about the Sorrel Windmill.
So the story goes back in the old days. The only crop the white people would actually eat, even though there was heaps of blackfella food around, was a potato. So they cook up potatoes every night and go into the barracks. You can still go to the barracks in Sorrel where Laing worked. And after dinner, about 6 o'clock, about an hour after dinner, there would be this, because all the soldiers would be in the same room, there would be this incredible pea soup thick fog of human flatulence from the potatoes. And so they called the barracks the windmill, the old Sorrel windmill, because that's where they used to make all the wind.
Well, that's my dad's just smiling, but I think he's just being polite. Wow. And that's why, folks, we haven't done a second album, because we hear that crap all the time.
Because just before we start the song, I told the engineer a special story.
Yep. And that's a lovely segue into this.
Yeah. Good night, Alex. Good night, Trevor. Good night, John Boy.
You're still going. Okay.
Yeah, they'll be going for hours till they've worked all those potatoes through.
Lovely.
Wait, tell us more about tech. All right, I lied. It is a Laing tune. It's a 19th century tune. What do you reckon about it? What do you got to say for yourself?
Oh, look, I haven't played for a while, but again, always classic Laing. It's that he's got those signature rhythmic, kind of... I'll give you an example of what I mean. So he does always like the... Always that little dotted and the demi-semi.
Yeah.
It's da-da-da-da. It's a very... Just his traits.
It's a bit of spring in his step.
Yeah, always. Whenever I
Right.
find in most of his jigs that we play, I'm just thinking, yeah, it's not always the standard. Like if you play a lot of the stuff, like comparing it to an Irish reel, that's just like straight out quavers, really repetitive.
Right.
It's often very pattern like with the Irish stuff, but with his stuff, and I find in the Scottish, it's a bit more. I don't know. There are patterns, but I also find it a bit jumpier or for the fingerboard, like the hand shapes.
Right.
And this one particular is in C, which you would think it's an easy key. It is an easy key, but it's also a little uncomfortable to play, particularly on violin, because it's not, I guess, yeah, it's a slightly different hand shape. So be able to play fast in the key of C when there's little awkward hand shapes, it's kind of, it almost feels a bit uncomfortable. It's like you're stepping over your feet, but it's a good challenge. But like, yeah, that's how I feel. And like, you know, it's actually, this conversation came up the other day because I was saying, oh, C is not it's not hard, but it's not the most easiest key. And they were like, oh, well, piano, it's easy. I'm like,
yeah,
yes.
so shut up. Do you find that?
Yeah. I'm like, well, that might be easy, but each instrument has its own comfy keys. Like brass is woodwind would be concert pitch, B flat or something, which for them, that's easy. But if you're playing along with horn players, they're like, oh, let's play in B flat. It's like, oh, okay, let's have a quick shred on a B flat. It's like, nah. Like we played in G or D or something. D would probably be my favourite, like, in terms of a fiddle friendly key.
Really, yeah. Or is that because of where you resolve your strings?
Yeah, just where I resolve, and like you can do a lot of double stopping as well. D and A, because you can double stop. G is also good, but
now,
D
when you say double stopping in chord, that's just chords, isn't it?
It's 2 notes at the same time. We
do that all the time in banjo.
The only way we can do chords, it's like that. We can only play 2 notes more at the same time.
Right.
Anyway,
okay.
But yeah, that's my 2 bits on it.
Fascinating.
Nice. But it's good. No, like I still think it's always good to challenge yourself in different keys. I believe it makes you a more capable player, I guess, if you're used to playing. Because you definitely, you can meet any musicians, not just necessarily folk music, but like any musicians probably get comfy in their keys and their way of playing. So if you chuck something that's left of field, they're like, I don't want to do that.
Totally. And that used to be a thing I struggled with all the time as a banjo player, was that some people would expect that I couldn't play things.
We experienced that at a folk festival we went to, because remember when we went jamming?
Yeah, that happens to me all the time.
In South Australia.
Yeah.
And it's happened to me. It happens to me quite a bit too. But I noticed it more when we went to South Australia, because we were, we went as Wolfe and Thorn, and we're jamming, and like we noticed everyone's got their capos on. You were probably the only banjo player that didn't have a capo.
Yeah.
And then it takes me like 2 seconds to know the key, and off we go. And everyone was so amazed. Yeah. Everyone was like, "What? What?
Which degree is this?"
And they were like,
"Which?"
And I remember my favourite thing was that they were like, to me, "Oh, we really like your violin playing. Do you want to come to Melbourne?" And Carl just yells out, "No, she's my fiddle player. She's my fiddle player." I scared George in that.
Oh, sorry, George.
But he also slept. He can't quite sit up yet properly.
So it's partly your fault.
Yeah.
But
partly your fault.
Also, and you experienced something I experienced with mainlanders all the friggin' time.
It's not a diss to necessarily mainland. I think it's just people.
No, it is, because later on they said that they couldn't even be bothered when we had a gig in. Anyway, I shouldn't go on. No. They literally lived round the corner from the gig, and they couldn't go to the gig.
I think also from my experiences, I'm going to festivals like that, growing up in Tassie. We have a lot of good musicians in Tassie, a lot of good people who teach, a lot of different styles here in Tassie, and I think they don't fully realise it, which is good, mean they can stay there on the mainland. But, they kind of, I don't know what they think. They just might think we all, look at hawks fight over dead rabbits outside with
I'm going down a paddock
crows.
to watch the hawk fight, Pa.
But I just remember that, and they were so shocked and amazed, and I'm like, it's just, we've been doing this for years. Like, why are you so shocked? Anyway, just how amazing we are. Anyway, here we go. Surreal Windmill. Just got to think about, oh, look, we've got some percussion in the background. That's my daughter. All right, are you ready? I'm going to try and do this now.
How's it go?
1, 2, I'll start if you like.
Hey, please. Did you? Is that why you were smiling? I thought you were laughing at me.
No, I'm smiling at myself. Because I'm like, oh, I cannot play. So I think what the thing that I struggle most with is, and it's also just a bit of practice, because like I said before, it's not a hard key, but it's just an awkward hand shape.
Yeah, right.
Because I have to go to an F, which is F natural, right? And then I have to bring it back up to B, like in that same triplet, in the group of three. So I have to go... I just have to practice it, but up to speed, how a 6/8 should be played, like how a jig needs to be played. It's just a bit awkward. It feels awkward.
So F, D...
It's just I have to move my hand shape, because I have to go from a low 1 to a high 1. That's what's happening on my end.
Okay.
And if you're a bit out of practice, it's just kind of like, and violin, as we know, if you're out of tune, it's unforgiving. And I think, and also in the key of C, for some weird reason, if you're really out of key, like particularly if your Fs are out of key, out of tune, I should say, it's really obvious that you've played the wrong note. Anyway, so that was me fluffing it a little bit.
Very good. I'm so gratified.
Yeah. I thought it'd make you feel better. Yeah, I can admit it. It's fine. That's why I picked it. Like I always like to slightly challenge, so that's good.
Question was, what songs were that? That was the first 3 we did. Was Richmond Lasses.
We did Richmond.
Dr. Moron.
Dr. Moore.
Gumnut.
Michael's, Mazurka.
Not Michael's. No, it wasn't
Michael's. Oh, sorry. Mazurka for a Lost Ship. Sorry. And this one.
Yes.
Is that 5? Yes.
That's 5.
Right.
That's your lot. Get out.
Should we do one more so we feel better to redeem ourselves?
I think so, because we have played a lot on the edge. We played a lot of unfamiliar songs. Played a lot of songs we've only sort of half figured out and half become familiar with.
It's been a while anyway. I deliberately picked out some stuff that we haven't done
and
for
we did
ages.
get in the newspapers for our podcast.
We did, which was very nice. None of one of us knew that was going to happen. Yeah. My mum and dad came home with have you read the paper?
Yeah.
I don't read the paper.
What's Carl done now?
What's Carl's like, great. What have we done this time? What has he said this time? Mm-hmm. Gosh, okay. No, it was a suggestion to listen to our podcast. So there you go. So if you're listening because of that, well done. Hopefully we haven't disappointed you.
I think we probably good chance we might have.
Might have, particularly you, yeah.
So that was fun. So if you are new to the podcast, well, this is kind of what happens. We used to have special effects in that. We might get that again. Yeah.
Cut our budget a bit.
Cut our budget considerably.
Because we blew up the Steve Gadd bot and got
I still owe him for the helicopter. Also, I got a big fine from National Parks from that. Yeah,
that didn't like us flying over.
I offered to repay them in kind, but they weren't interested. I said, I can give you $50,000 worth of plants. And they said, no, sir.
But anyway.
Please get out of our office. And take those bags with you of... Anyway, sorry.
Anyway, we're digressing again. So what should we finish off? What should we finish off? That's classic. Should we finish off with Black Cat and Homebrew and just jamming out? Yeah.
Why not?
So
I've actually been leaning on this song quite a bit because it's such a great song for kids to learn. Mm-hmm. And the title is beautiful as well. And also the Australian Albo's voice is forcing us to tell history in our curriculum. It's George Soros funded United Nations stuff. Anyway, so the thing I love about the Black Cat, White Cat is that Aboriginal stuff. So you walk in with that as a little package of a unit and just fling it out.
Because kids just love it when you say it's the Black Cat piddled in the White Cat's eye.
What? What did he do? Oh my God, why?
Was it acid? No.
Really? Is that what they say for you?
No, I'm not going. This is a cheer-rated podcast. But
well, it's PG.
PG. Anyway, it's all good. They're good tunes, and we have a bit of fun with it. Shall we funk it up?
It's only 2 chords. Yeah, let's do it. Whatever you... What? Well...
Let's funk it up a bit.
Well, you better show me where it's at.
Well...
Or do you want me to show you how to funk?
You start.
She wants to get funky, but she don't know how.
Don't know how. Please, Dr. Carl, show me how to get the funk.
Well, the first thing you've got to do, kids, is you got to feel it in your... that was.
We had a fire applause there. Did you hear that?
No, oh, there it is, way out in the master bedroom. Thank you very much. That was interesting.
That was fun. Was that interesting or bad interesting?
Yeah. No,
I quite enjoyed that.
Did you? Thank you very much.
I did. I like doing the chopping. I was doing what's called a chop rhythm,
right,
which the bear, which I quite enjoy doing. So
I see.
I like doing that.
Well,
maybe we should explore that more.
If you want to.
Not now, but later. Maybe for the farm. And
I was with that cue, we've got to go. There's drama in the playroom, folks.
The phone's been dropped. It's all gone to put. Probably that hawk's probably attacking crows outside. It's been an eventful afternoon at the Wolfe Homestead today.
The Wolfe Homestead. Thank you very much. Yes, we are here, and thank you very much for this wonderful coffee. This is where, in fact, they actually make wolfberry cordial.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, this is where it happens.
This is where it all the things happened.
Was that me? No.
Oh no, that's Lena's with her pretend pot and cooking.
So it just goes to show, folks, you can do a podcast with a young family, no problem at all. Just got to give them stuff to do. You can come around to your parents' house and do it in their kitchen. They can take care of the kids. So anyway, before I just got to let you know some very important information. We'll see you November 7th, which is a Tuesday night at Mayfairs. If you're interested, you can come down. You can be like within 4 feet away from us. That's as close as you can get.
That's probably close enough, to be honest.
You can ask us questions. If you're nervous, you can write the questions down on a bit of paper and just hand it to us during the set.
As long as it's in big capitals so you can read it.
My eyesight's terrible.
Yep.
Thank you. So if you come along and see that, the Wolfe and Thorn, thank you very much. Thank you so much for Queenstown for making us feel...
welcomed.
People. Yeah. Just like, the basic human dignities which are so lacking in this society.
Yep, we had a good time.
We had a lovely time. Thank you, Laura. And thank you, what was the other girl's name? The Aries horse?
Jackie.
And hello also to Susie the Virgo dragon and her friend the Leo dragon. And also the Scorpio horse that gave me half a bottle of scotch. Thank you very much for that. We appreciate it. As you can see, I don't do names anymore because of the brain cell issue.
It just goes from star signs.
Star signs. There's only 144 people, or 212 combinations.
Yeah.
Libra tiger.
We don't. Yep.
Virgo snake.
Yes. I will end you. No. That's a good way to send off. Anyway.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Goodbye, everybody. You're recording that?